nice because we also have other music studios around here.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, anytime you guys are ready.
Okay, so I think the best question that we can start with first is, who is Darius? Maybe you can introduce yourself a little bit to like the camera.
So do I look straight at the camera?
Also can lah. Just like, oh, I'm Darius, or like I'm also known as blah blah blah, you know.
So hi, I'm Darius. I'm a graphic designer who makes unconventional fonts and weird books. Yeah.
Weird books.
Pretty much about it lah.
Okay. I kind of looked at quite a bit of your work. I think even for Labor Blog, I'm friends with Jasmine. She's my classmate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we happen to sort of know each other, and then I sort of went to Labor Blog. I saw some of your works as well, and like you sort of print 3D books, but 3D print books. But I think what's very interesting is like I read some about like some of your previous or like prior interviews, and like you said about how you are interested in how things are made, rather, you know, like how these books are constructed, rather.
Yeah.
So, do you kind of remember when that like shift happened for you, from when you were more or less interested in how the book was made rather than like the content of it?
Right. Okay. So I guess as a kid last time, right, I'm always very fascinated with this documentary called How It's Made. I'm not sure.
You're like very familiar,
you know, like this documentary where they show a lot of like the behind the scenes of like how a lot of things are made in factories, or like how things work. I think I've always been very fascinated with that. And the thing is that because I went to a design school, I studied V0.04, right? And one of the things that we really learned was or one of my first encounters with books was actually or the book object. It's actually a very technical one. So we actually in school we look at, you know, how to construct books, how the book works, how to design the book, you know, not just its content, but you know, like in its extent, its dimensions and stuff. So I guess the very first time because of this, you know, like my relationship with books has always been very technical from the very start, because I don't really own a lot of books when I was young. And when I really started to get very interested in books, it has always been about its object form. So that was my relationship with the book as an object. And yeah, so very naturally gravitated towards, you know, a very technical understanding.
Okay, how about like, I want to know also like, because we're talking about how like that shift happened, but for you it became very natural, right? Was there ever like a book that kind of fascinated you immediately, or like one of the, I wouldn't say like favorite books, but what is one of the most fascinating books you've ever sort of put your hands on, or ever, you know, observed or studied rather, regarding like, it could be the content of it, it could be like the construction of the book as well. Like, what is it like for you?
So I bring this. Can I bring the book?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I bring this example up quite a bit. Oh, sorry, not this one. Yeah.
Oh my god, I have that book!
Yeah, you have also this, right?
Yeah, I have that book. I fucking love this genre, man.
Yeah, so this genre is called the agodic literature. So it's basically it just means that it's books or any form of lit that actually requires non-trivial effort to traverse. So that's what they call it. So what it means is that, so this book is very interesting to me because it's actually designed by the author himself. So Mark Zidanowiski. He is not graphic design trained, but he, as an author, I think he is very interested, or he is very concerned with how his story, his text has been typeset. And I just find it very fascinating that it's a very elaborate layout. Just to mention a few things, there are certain paragraphs and texts. I mean, you know lah.
Yeah.
That requires you to, let's say, flip the book around to read or put it
Upside down.
like with a mirror to read it through its reflection. So all these are, of course, in service of the content, the story and the narrative. That's why it's something that's very peculiar.
Yeah.
Like you don't really see or hear of an author that is, or a writer that is so concerned with the book form and the way the text and the typography and and just how the content needs to work in a certain textual format. And he's also or like this book is also famous for not really readable in an e-book format.
Oh yeah.
It's not recommended lah, of course. You can of course make this into like a digital format, but there's like 4 different versions of like the print format, right? And he's very particular about it being in a physical form because the act of like how the review of the next page, the layout and everything needs to happen at a certain size. It needs to happen at a certain page.
Yeah.
So all these are somewhat missing in the ebook format, which is
I think it's actually very interesting as well when you bring up like House of Leaves. I think for anyone who wants to read it, you all should actually read it.
Yeah.
You have to read it probably multiple times, but it's a really cool book. The idea is that I think it's the fact that he infuses concepts with how the narrative works as well, considering for anyone who's interested, it's like this never-ending house that
it's a story within a story within a story.
Yeah.
In different formats.
Yeah.
And at the core, at the deepest level, it's about a house that is bigger on the inside than on the outside.
Yeah, and the fact that the texts constantly change, the font constantly changes, is also kind of in relation to the house itself and like the guy's mental state, the protagonist's mental state. So it was, I love this book as well. I actually got recommended it because of a YouTube video I watched called My House. It's like a Doom mod that was inspired by this book, and I was like, oh, that's very interesting.
I found out about this book through a YouTube video as well.
Oh, same. It's such a, I like that it's getting popular now because
there's a cult following.
Yeah. But actually this leads into like my next question, because like thinking about how, for example, how this book kind of infuses mythology, a little bit of its own mythology, its own concepts into the form of the book. And I know that you kind of do that as well for your own practice. Like, how does that look like for you in this case?
So, I mean, the idea of like infusing concepts within a sort of like a design project is of course it has always been how it's done. I mean, we talk about concepts and then the execution and everything. But I think the way I look at it is a lot more, I would say, literal. Like I actually do base a lot of my design decisions through sort of like a world building exercise that I conduct. It's this idea that I think when I'm working on a project, there's a lot of, it's like a chain of decisions that I have to make.
Yeah.
And of course, you ask yourself, like, why am I making this decision at this point in time? So one thing will lead to another. And I just tend to use world building narratives and stories to guide that process. And sometimes it gets very literal in that sense that I would actually write about, or I would think about, let's say I'm making a font, right?
Yeah.
I've made a font where I've written this like 10-part Game of Thrones style story about how and why the font looks that way.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like, you know, like the A looks like this because I mean I tie it with real world histories
Yeah.
of like how certain letters, why they look a certain way. Because some letters, you know, like they just have a certain lineage or they came from other letters, I say, things like that. And I do write about each and every of those letters in the alphabet, and each of them has their entire timeline and history that sort of like form this entire world. So that's one thing. I've also made typefaces that or I've designed typefaces that where I thought about, you know, like it looks like this because in a very or I wrote a fiction based on you know, this fictional group of people who invented this way of writing, let's say, and that's why.
Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's quite.
The world building as part of like the creation. Okay, I kind of see. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I really like that because I know at every step what I need to do or how things need to look like.
Oh,
because like I would just channel back. Okay, so what will happen here if this and this happen and this and this should happen. So I know at every point what decision I need to make. Yeah, so it sort of like guides me lah. But it takes a lot of time lah. I mean,
Imagine.
you can imagine.
Yeah. Okay, like one other thing is that I mean like for people who don't know, like his works have been collected by SAM as well.
Oh yeah, design collection.
Yeah, design collection. So, damn, that's actually really cool to know about as well. I think speaking about 3D printing, I think that's what you're currently also working on as HyperPress, right?
Yes.
So, was it kind of gradual as well as sort of like that realization that, oh, actually 3D print can kind of sort of, it's just another form of book publishing in a way for you? Like, was it a very sudden realization or was it also very gradual for you to be like, oh yeah, maybe I could like try this out? Or was that a eureka moment where like just, oh shit, like why not 3D print a book instead of your usual way of publishing one, you know?
Yeah, I guess the first time I thought about it was really, I mean, I've known about 3D printing for quite a long time, and it's this idea that one day I just thought about, you know, that 3D printing is something that has infiltrated a lot of creative disciplines, like in, let's say, industrial design, in architecture, but those are all very they are disciplines that are already based within the three dimensions lah. In a sense that their workflow is already three-dimensional. But graphic design is interestingly something that is very tied to the two-dimensional surface as a discipline, and so I'm just wondering, like, you know, like this technology has infiltrated all of these other creative disciplines that also has the word design in it. And what about graphic design? You know, like, because graphic design, the history of it is that the discipline did come out from publishing. So printing is actually graphic design's domain, and this new technology comes out, right, and it's called 3D printing, right? And it's kind of interesting and weird. Why is it that graphic designers have no, or seemingly no stakes in the development of the technology, or just not playing with it as much as it should have lah? I mean, you know, like, what if 3D printing is like, if you really situate 3D printing within this idea or like this lineage of the printing press, then a lot of very interesting things happen, and through all these years it has been, you know, like exploring some of these parallels and also tensions that arises from converging these two fields. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, second last question. So, for people who have never sort of maybe let's say we look at someone who has got no clue at all about like graphic design, 3D printing, much less anything about possibly art, for example, right? What is your hope when someone comes across your work, for example? What do you hope for them to get out of it, or sort of feel or learn from, you know?
So the way that I'm doing things, of course, is not the most conventional, and sometimes the output is not really at all considered like conventionally beautiful or like quote unquote proper lah. And I don't really want my audiences to also, or like people who come across my work to feel like, oh, this is nice or this is beautiful. I'm actually very much, or I want them to feel like, you know, like, oh, this is very interesting. I think the word is like, you know, interesting, and, you know, sort of like, can it invoke, or can it sort of like
the idea of like the unexpected.
Or like, you know, like can it get people curious about this particular subject matter or this object, and want to know more about it. So that's always been the aim.
I mean, I think sort of like the goal at the end also is to get someone not just interested in just your own work, but just, I think, introducing new concepts to people. I think it's also sort of like the end goal for a lot of different artists as well. And I definitely relate to what you mean. Actually, before we ask the last question that I think G will ask, shall we have a look at some of like your works? Because I have been wanting to actually...
Have you seen this at the Labour Block?
I think so, actually. You had like a whole setup.
Yes.
On like a small table. I remember like there was like, wiring and all of that.
Yeah, this is a fully 3D printed book.
That, it's fully 3D printed?
I mean, the pages and everything. Of course, the electronics are not. There are some, there's so cool. Like a speaker module and like a e-ink screen at the base of the spine, so they're all housed within the spine, but everything else is 3D printed.
Are you able to like see this? Dude, the paper feels weird though.
Yeah.
It's like really thick.
Yeah, and it's this idea that I can actually plug this book in to a power source, and you are actually able to, let's say, I just pass your fingers through
the words.
The words, and then
you'll read it out.
The book will read out. So it's like an e-book, but the book format is being retained. Yeah. So this one was this is actually the fourth book, right? No, third book. Yeah, this is the third book, right?
Oh. How long have you been working on, like, how long did it take for, like, for example, this book to be, like, fully printed, though?
You want to give a guess?
Okay, assuming, like, let's say we're talking about, like, minifigs, right? It's probably, like, a day.
Wait, but, like, you're talking about technically the hours, or, like, how long did the project take? I mean, I of course don't print it 24/7.
Maybe how long did it take for you, like, as a working on this project, and like how long did it actually like technically take to print this whole thing out?
Okay.
I think for project-wise, probably like, maybe like 2 years, 3 years ongoing, and like maybe still ongoing.
Not that long lah, but of course, a lot of legwork has been done with my previous 2 books. So, like,
you sort of have, like, already existing knowledge on that, lah.
Yes, because I had to work out a lot of issues, and that, of course, took 2 or 3 years, lah. But this book, actually, I did it during my MA. It was, like, only 6 months.
Oh, only 6 months?
Yeah.
Oh.
But the pages itself and everything, you can put it around, like, each page is probably an hour.
Oh shit, that actually takes a long time.
Yeah, because there's a lot of technical stuffs that would work better with just a slower
Yeah, I imagine just like prototyping, like trying
Yeah,
to
a
figure
lot
out
of
the
prototyping.
right types of filaments, the
Yeah.
right nozzles, just to be able to get like a very readable font.
Yes,
As well.
this is set in a font that I have designed specifically for 3D printing. Yeah, so these are all the legwork that has been done before lah.
Oh, wow.
So it's specifically designed to ensure that it prints better at a very small font size. Yeah.
Thinking about it also, this is like really applicable for Braille as well. I think you're kind of also exploring that, right?
Yeah, one of the ideas was that how could the book format be so okay. I mean, for ebooks and audiobooks, they have already been more or these are formats that are already more accessible to a larger community.
Yeah.
But the idea is that, let's say, for the visually impaired community, I think the experience of the book is very different. Or there are, let's say, if you are using an ebook format, right? You really lose sort of like this tactile or this flipping experience. I mean, just now we talked about the House of Leaves, right? And those experiences really wouldn't come through that much when you really ditch the physical format. So you can sort of see this as like maybe one way to bridge that gap between having the functionalities of the ebook but still retain the physical book format. But that being said, this is just a proof of concept. It's this idea that one day, what if we might be able to just have a physical book, but like you can double tap on certain words and then the speaker will tell you like this is the, or it can translate for you, or you can control the cadence of like how you are reading. Because in audiobooks then you're just playing a file, right? And then maybe in this format, the speed of which you brush your fingers across each line and each word can be captured. So that's one of the ideas lah. And and then there's this other book that so this is actually going to launch today lah. I'm going to post about it today. So it's the newest book, and
what?
This is 100% 3D printed, and it's printed standing upright. So the entire book is printed on the printer upwards with the spine down.
Wait, then how you get in between the pages though?
So this is how it looks like when it comes out from the printer.
Yeah.
So there's a very specific spacing like in between the pages, and the letters or the words that you see on here, they are actually just micro movements along what we call the X and Y axis when it's printing. And then layer by layer, those little movements, they translate to text, which is a lot more readable than my font.
I'm surprised
actually.
like how precise it is, like considering like you see those filaments that are actually quite thick.
Yeah.
And
it's only really possible in recent years. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the technology is moving very fast.
Yeah, it's crazy to me considering like how recent 3D printing actually is, and the fact that you're able to create something so small with quite pretty good accuracy actually, like as far as like readability as well.
Yeah, I work on this with my collaborator. He's called Benson Chong, and he is a so together we helped to, or we really wanted to find a way or experiment with a way to make this sort of like printing possible, because everything you see in this version is still very much about printing the pages page by page and then binding them together. But this book
is quite literal.
Yeah, it's trying to also challenge this notion of like what if a book can be printed all at once? So there's no idea of like page by page put together, bind, like it's all done in a single print
That
sequence.
is fascinating
Yeah,
and
that's
really impressive. Yeah, please. This is so cool.
Let me see if I can.
We can later take photos of it also. I think it's very cool. You got it?
So
Yeah. It's
And
I don't know, it's so cool.
It opens quite well actually.
Yeah, it's like damn, okay.
Yeah, but again, it's a proof of concept. Like, yeah, this is not very practical, but
I can imagine this like in maybe like not near future but maybe like 50 years down the road it could actually be a thing, you know.
yeah, quite far down the road.
Because like now 3D printing is still considered a little bit expensive as far as
Yeah.
filaments are involved, even though it's definitely way more affordable than it was when it was first introduced.
Yes.
But the fact that like I can actually see this being a thing
yeah.
where like, it could become a cost-cutting practice or a sort of more environmentally, not say environmentally friendly, because like I mean publishing you take a lot of paper, you know, it could be a very good alternative to just using traditional paper to print. So yeah, I think this is crazy. I'm still quite like mind blown from this.
Yeah, it's this is the kind of reaction that
Yeah.
like it's very interesting, and then like you want to know more about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the hope lah.
Yeah,
right?
that's the hope.
That people will just,
Yeah.
oh man, that's crazy. Even has like a little, I don't know if you can see later. It's like that, you know, you make images with like the syntax, the brackets, and like there's one of a little man here, like a little devil creature.
Sorry.
But yeah.
It's getting a bit warm
Oh,
because I'm directly in the.
dude, but this is cool. This
really
is
cool.
crazy. But yeah, dude, thanks for having us over.
Yeah.
And like showing us some of your works. This is crazy. Oh, this is a little bit sticky, but yeah, I won't tear it open.
Yeah, this one is the prototype.
But yeah, thanks for having us. G, you want to ask the last question?
Okay,
It's a
so,
surprise question.
One last question is, what is one song you're listening to right now
Wow.
you would recommend others to listen to as well?
Yeah, we're building a playlist. It's like an ever-evolving playlist. So one of the best ways that we realize that people can learn more about like the artist rather than just like listening to the interview is like, oh, you want a quick way to know about the artist and like listen to some of the music he listens to. Yeah.
Wow.
His favorite song, it could be your favorite song, could be like what you're currently obsessed with now. Yeah. So we have a huge range of different genres that like so far a lot of the artists that we've reached out to. Yesterday we have one that is very funny, like he's like a rap song, but it's very shitposty sort of vibe. And we have one one of the Animecha founders actually recommended a song from
OP.
Zeta, I think.
OP.
Yeah, opening for Gundam Zeta is like an older series, and it's like every time he listens to that he gets goosebumps and shit. So it's like really cool to see the type of music that people listen to lah. So
Oh,
for
shit.
you, what is it gonna be?
So what is yours?
Might be quite surprising. I listen to a lot of Mendo pop. Yeah. I'm obsessed with this one song now. I mean, it's a Chinese title lah.
Yeah.
It's called 懂事的可以.
懂事的可以 wait.
Yeah, it's by this Malaysian.
I think you need to help me with this. My Chinese is so bad. I got the Chinese keyboard though. I mainly use it for Taobao, but
Yeah, it's a bit emo lah.
okay.
Yeah,
Hazy.
but I generally like the very lyrical aspect of Mendo pop. I think the idea of like how the lyrics are written in terms of its language and everything does fit into how I approach my work sometimes.
Oh yeah.
I think I do have this slightly more poetic dimension
Yeah.
in my work, and actually a lot of it came from the Mendo pop sort of things. Yeah, I think it's
It's cool though, like to see that
it's
as
a line of connection
inspiration,
that's very very unexpected. Yeah.
And it's,
So
yeah, the relatability between it, I think especially with what you're doing also, yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely can see it. And I don't think it's like, I don't think it's weird at all though. Like, I think it's just cool how you can see that common thread of like what you do and what you're experimenting with, and it's like you can see it within like how you even live your life, you know what I mean? So I think it's very cool that you have this with you.
No, it's just kind of funny, like you know, like you all mentioned, like you know, like when you like some people they listen to the music to get like hyped up and everything. Yeah, but for mine it's just like just get into the zone.
Focus.
Yeah,
Okay.
very slow. Sometimes very emo one. Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Okay. Yeah, but thanks for having us. Yeah.